So today I'm talking about Cathole diggers. I just bought a new one. This is a titanium Dig Dig Tool by Vargo. I had one and I showed on a video where I used to keep it on my storage pole in this little holster here. Carried it for a year that way. Never had a problem, never lost it, never had to think about it. But when I bought the Durston X-Mid and went back to my regular poles, I had it on this pole and lost it on the North Country Trail someplace. It fell off and I never heard it, never missed it till I needed it. So now I've actually put a bungee on it, and I put that over the top and bungee it right to the pole. It's going nowhere. And you know, a lot of people don't like these. I like it because I can get a really good grip on it. Doesn't hurt my hand, serrated edges, but I don't like to carry it in my pack. I want to carry it on my pole, and rides good here. And now I have a little bit more of a fail-safe option so I don't lose it. So another popular one that a lot of people use are these. And the nice thing about these are they will wrap right around a 1 liter water bottle. You can rubber band it on. I used to have them, and that's where I carried mine, and it was perfect. I just wouldn't dig in hard soils. At least that's my experience. And so I went to this. And you know, there is a difference between a cathole digger and a foxhole digger. Now, you probably think I brought this out for a cheap joke, and yeah, I like cheap jokes, but I really haven't. I mean, I can tell you one of the craziest things I ran into backpacking in the last few years is I was in Glacier, my favorite place on the planet. So my route is take the train out, get off in East Glacier, jump right on the Continental Divide Trail, take it up to Swift Current Valley where it can split, and you can either go to Granite Park and along the High Line or through the Belly River, and you end up at Goat Haunt. From there I go west over to Hole in the Wall, Boulder Pass, Kentla Lake, and then hitchhike back to West Glacier, get on the train and go home. No car, no fuss, no muss, just train and walking. But on the last trip up there, I was at Kootenai Lakes, which is the campground just below Goat Haunt. And I ran into this guy that had his gear from the 60s. And you know, I'm not trying to tell you not to carry gear from the 60s, you know, whatever floats your boat. But the more I talked to him, the more I found that he was really hurting. I mean, he was carrying this fishing gear like a car camping tent. I mean, he must have had, I don't want to guess how much weight he was carrying. And he was kind of hurting, I could tell that. And so usually I get up and leave early in the morning, but I thought I better check this guy out. So I stayed and talked to him in the morning, and he wasn't moving. I got him up, left all of his gear there, walked him up to Goat Haunt and hooked him up with a ranger, and later I found out he didn't have a passport. I checked with him on the way up, so I thought he's not going through Canada. And later I found out the ranger I gave him to put him on a pack horse and took him out the south end of the park. So just to make it clear, cathole, foxhole. So this is the heavy option. This thing weighs a little over an ounce. Whereas these other trowels, they probably weigh just over a half an ounce. But hold on to one of these things like you're going to dig and feel the sharp edge of the handle, whereas this has rolled edges, and you could grip this really hard and do some real excavating with this thing and not hurt your hand. The other thing is, where I have this bungee to hold it onto my poles, that hole's really designed to use this as a tent stake also. So you can pound this into the ground, run your guy line through here, loop it over, and it makes a really secure tent stake. The biggest drawback, price. I just paid about 26 bucks for this thing. It is titanium, To me, it's worth it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought the same thing over again. I like it. I like how I can carry it. I'll pay the price for it. This time, I'm not losing it. So carry the trowel of your choice, but just remember there's a difference between a Cathole digger, what I tell you, and a foxhole digger. Keep smiling.